3, 2, 1. What's up, everyone? Welcome to the first episode of Yeah with Jeremy and Smashpop.
And this podcast is basically Smashpop and mine punya opportunity to get together, to talk about nothing, about everything. It's just a hangout session and just it's about good times, man.
Yeah, so if you love to listen to us talking about crap, what happens in our day-to-day, just listen to Yeah and don't forget to subscribe.
Smashpop, first episode, new year, new content,
man. Happy New Year, everyone.
Oh man, 2022.
Can't believe we can survive COVID and still, be living until 2020.
These smiles on our faces, there's a little bit of pain underneath.
But we are also grateful that we are healthy and we are still able to do, things like this, create new content for all of our friends, followers and whoever new that is interested in what we live through every day in Malaysia.
So with the new year happening, and then this is the thing that we need to talk about because it's the new year, right?
Yeah.
The question and the matter of new year resolutions.
Oh, that question, huh?
Yeah, like, did you make any? Do you make any? Are you into it? What was the last new year resolution you made?
I am not a person who makes new year resolutions because I know that I will never keep up to it.
Okay.
Like people will say, oh, I need to lose weight. I need to have a six-packs abs.
Right.
I need to get married or whatever, right?
Yeah.
But people will tend to forget about their new resolutions like within a month.
It's true.
Right? When February comes, right, they'll be like, huh? What resolution? That was last month, no? Like that.
So basically, you're one of those guys that's like, I cannot lose if I don't play.
Correct. So what about you? Do you have like a resolution?
Every year, my resolution is very vague one.
Okay.
Like, I want to do better. I want to be healthier. What does healthier even mean?
What is healthy? Yeah, exactly.
So whatever it is lah. Or like.
So your new year resolution is to be healthier.
I mean, it was at one point.
Okay.
It was at one point. But for the past few years, my New Year's resolution, or not, I wouldn't say resolution, but my intention for the year has always been, I think I want to make more content, I want to make more stuff. In whatever form, whether it's in my personal capacity or it's helping other people make stuff. Like, that's been ongoing. And because I'm not one of those people who have Excel sheets and like have solid goal. Like, every week must do 3. I'm not one of those. I'm like very vague. As long as I feel like I do more.
As long as got new content means I've achieved my resolution.
Correct.
Right or not?
Correct. And I was thinking about it a little while earlier, and I was thinking like, actually over the past like 2-3 years, my own personal like output for stuff has increased. Maybe not like on the level of somebody like yourself, for example, right? Or like somebody who really, really does it. But on a personal level, it's been more than before, which to me is like, victory, I'll take it.
Yeah. I actually noticed that your rate of content production has increased like within 1 to 2 years. That's amazing. From a level whereby you're like thinking, what should I do? To a point whereby now you are just creating things every day. Whether it's like a simple content or a more complex content, you are still creating.
Yeah.
So I guess being productive every day is important, and it's also like how I live my life, because like whenever I have a free time, whereby I'm not creating anything, I feel like I'm wasting time.
Really?
Yeah.
You feel like anxious. Do you feel anxious?
I feel anxious. I'm like, at this few minutes of me sitting here, I can be actually creating like a story at least.
Right.
Okay.
Do you have like standards of like what counts as content for you?
I would
this
say
is not content. This one I take doesn't really count.
Not really. To me, as long as I'm creating something for my followers, it's considered content. Like it can go as simple as an IG story. Okay, so right, this is not a resolution, but it's actually something that I would love to practice and has been practicing.
Oh, nice.
Whereby I want to have a constant flow of content. In this case, IG stories on my Instagram. Regularly, every hour, I need to have something up. Why? Because I just kissed the mic. Okay, so why? Because I wish that people get to see my face on top of their feed every time they open Instagram.
Right.
And it reminds them that I am around.
Interesting.
I don't know whether it works or not in reminding them that I'm around, but with all the algorithms happening now, maybe I post something and nobody can see, but I just try my best, lor.
Okay.
Yeah.
So this idea of yours, is it like something that you you're thinking of doing this because you saw somebody say, oh, maybe it's a good thing to have constant output to increase your viewer rate, or is it something that you just thought like it'd be cool to do?
I just thought it might be something beneficial for me that helps to increase exposure to people that is following me, lor. Because sometimes like nowadays when you post picture, right, people cannot see, right, and then I just hope that with the IG stories, people can actually notice that, hey, Smashpop is actually still around. I should go and check out what's his latest post.
Like, don't forget, he's here.
Yeah, exactly. That's the whole point, lah. But then that's just my whole theory, lah. That it's not proven by anything, so it's not written read from any articles. It's just my thing.
I think it's effective though because your Insta stories always appear on my.
Really?
Yeah, really.
That's good.
Without fail, I think I will. Your Insta story is the one that I confirm will see every day without fail.
Oh, it means it's working, lor.
It's working.
So, boys and girls, if you want to, appear on everyone's feed, right, please close. Because of this, lah. Huh? We are not saying that what we are drinking in this glass, but it's quite interesting.
It's very delicious.
Yeah, please post regularly. Yes.
Okay. Now, obviously, you can tell me and Smashpop are really into content creation, lah.
Correct.
Right?
Yeah.
Even when we want to talk about other things, it will always somehow come back to this one topic. Right?
Yes, correct.
Right?
But of course, I would also like to discuss something with you.
What is it?
Because at the time of us recording this podcast, Jeremy has just only watched Spider-Man the day before. So it's still very fresh in his brain, Although for me, it's like I watched on the first day, lah.
Yeah.
So I might have forgotten some details, which you can remind me of. But yeah, what do you think of Spider-Man?
So good. So good. I'm thinking about it right now. I'm getting goosebumps.
Wow,
It is such a... it is a kind of movie that nobody else could ever make. What other movie franchise possibility would you take your previous actors and bring them into the new movie and give them a chance to interact? It's literally something out of the comic books.
Yes, correct. And I just feel that it has never been done before in any movies of our lifetime. The closest I feel is still in Marvel universe, whereby we get to see the Endgame.
Yeah.
Then we get to see all the Marvel characters come out, but then they are all in the same MCU.
Yes.
They are all from the same series of movies,
Yeah.
But this is not.
This is not.
Yeah, and the previous Spider-Man movies were actually produced by Sony Pictures when they were not friends with Marvel.
And now they did.
And now they just talk to each other like, hey, what if I bring my Toby, I bring my Andrew, and then you bring your Tom, then we just play lah, put them together,
see what
do
happens.
some fan service lah, see whether the fans like or not.
So this, if there's anything, it goes to tell you, right, that even former enemies can become friends and have wonderful partnerships come out of it.
Correct. And also former villains can be like humans now. With the new Spider-Man movie, right? All these villains just give you a feeling that they are actually all humans.
Yeah.
You don't hate them.
You don't.
You just feel like, oh, you guys are so sad.
I understand. If I were in your position, maybe I would be a villain too.
Correct.
I think it's great. So obviously we're going to spoiler territory.
It doesn't matter because it's 2022 already. If you haven't watched this movie, right, too bad.
Right. So that's the thing, right? And when Aunt May died, my God, because let's face it, the 3 Spider-Man thing was already, everybody was talking about it.
Yes.
But when Aunt May died, my heart was in my throat.
Why?
Because I was like, she is Tom Holland's Uncle Ben.
Correct.
Did not see that coming. I was like,
I guess they purposely made her die because then all 3 Spider-Mans will have the same experience of their closest family,
the tragedy.
Yeah, die.
But I always assume that Uncle Ben already did that for Tom Holland's Spider-Man. We just never talked about it because it's been done already.
Just assume, lor.
Right.
But then, right, we have never seen Uncle Ben in Tom Holland's Spider-Man,
Yeah.
It was always just Aunt May.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And I think they did it very well, lor.
Very well.
But I just kind of don't like the idea of them killing Aunt May because then there will be no older generation in the upcoming Spider-Man movies.
If you think about
it's all just going to be the young people,
Yeah. If you think about it, this Spider-Man is basically... how every version of the Spider-Man, Tobey's and the Andrews, there was the origin story, right?
Correct.
How they learn and how they develop.
And then they go into this museum and then got bitten by a Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Spider-Man plus Spider.
But this... No Way Home is the Tom Holland origin story.
Correct.
Because now he has truly become like the Spider-Man that we all know. And because before this, he was Spider-Man with Tony Stark technology, Spider-Man that had backup and friends, and he, always had people to rely on. Now he's just like Andrew and just like Toby in the sense that he's truly alone. He has to fend for himself. He has to figure this out on his own.
Correct. Although he did have a little bit of help from Doctor Strange, which I don't consider as a help lah.
Yeah.
And also for most of the time, Doctor Strange was just stuck in his own world doing whatever, just solving this jigsaw puzzle trying to come out.
Kesian the fella though.
Kesian the fella, yeah.
Like Doctor Strange tried to help Spidey, and all he got in return is like really
getting
helping.
Trapped.
Yeah, getting trapped.
Yeah.
Like, you ask me to help you, I help you. But every time I want to help you, do what you want me to do, you go and change the thing and you mess things up. Again and again and again.
Correct.
Honestly, if Tom Holland was my kid, I think I'd...
But I feel Tom Holland is so good.
He's
acting.
good.
He's so good.
He's crying.
Yeah.
The feelings when he was like saying goodbye to MJ and all.
Yeah, I can actually feel. Also, I quite like how he actually before everyone forgets him, he actually went to talk to Toby and Andrew, right? Like, hey, you really inspired me a lot. You know, you really helped me in all those things. I feel that it's a very good tribute.
It really is.
In real life, whereby it's not to say that both of the Spider-Mans actually helped him a lot in the movie, but probably it represents how Tom Holland actually grew up watching these two Spider-Mans, and now he gets to say these kind of things to those two Spider-Men that he watched growing up with.
Goosebumps. And then and then there's that one scene where like Toby was telling like Andrew like, you're amazing. You're amazing.
Yeah.
You're amazing.
Yeah.
That's kind of cute because his movies have got the amazing
Spider-Man.
But also because like Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man was the worst rated ones out of the bunch, I think.
Correct.
So everybody, he was just like, no lah bro, actually you're quite amazing lah. It's almost like a tongue-in-cheek kind of thing, which I really liked.
Yeah. And also, I think they did one thing that touched me. They gave Andrew Garfield a chance to save a girl from the falling building.
Yeah, man.
Everyone got this chance, but except Andrew.
Yeah. Correct. And then you get that like Andrew Garfield is the sensitive Spidey.
Yeah.
He came down like
that moment is like, oh, you all let me do this.
Finally, right?
Every Spider-Man does this, but I didn't have the chance, but now I have.
So before you watched this movie, right? Did you have a favorite Spider-Man?
Tom Holland.
So
has always been Tom Holland.
Even with Toby, and Toby came on the scene.
Of course, when Toby came out, it was just Toby one.
Yeah, correct.
Yeah. And then when Andrew came out, I was like, okay, not bad.
Right.
But I didn't have any extra feelings.
Right.
But when Tom Holland came out, I was like, oh, Tom Holland is not bad.
Okay.
And then, he acts his age.
Yeah.
Because Tom Holland, Peter Parker is supposed to be like a college student, uni student.
Yeah. So like, honestly, before this, Tom Holland was probably, I think, the best representation of Spider-Man as well, I think. But I always felt that Andrew Garfield was the weakest Spider-Man. Because I always say to people like, Andrew Garfield as Spider-Man is the cool kid lah. Where got skater boy?
Yeah, exactly.
Girl, like so cool. Like this guy, not cool, not popular. I don't believe lor.
Yeah.
Right? But I have to say, after watching him in No Way Home, I'm like, I really wouldn't mind another Andrew Garfield Spider-Man movie.
Me too. I actually wish... Okay, because the movie version is Tom Holland ma.
Correct.
Why can't they just do like a series version on Disney Plus?
Disney Plus Andrew Garfield
featuring
Spider-Man.
Andrew Garfield Spider-Man, another multiverse.
Oh my goodness.
They
can do it now.
They don't kacau Tom Holland ma.
Yeah, correct.
Let's do it lah.
I support this. Like, I want to see more. And I also would love to see Tobey Maguire as old man Spidey lah. Like, Logan.
Yeah, like Logan. Old Wolverine.
So now we see like an old Spider-Man like, backache. Oh yeah, you got tongue. How ah?
But it's good, right? They actually did that scene. Like, he is actually older. That's why I got backache,
Correct. And they were all, and it was all like, and Andrew Garfield like, yeah, me too. I also got. So now, like Tom Holland will eventually also get backache.
Correct. And I feel that scene of them discussing about how they shoot Spiderweb is a little bit awkward and also a little bit funny.
But also because it's the same conversation we all imagine them to be having.
Yeah, it's a very real conversation.
Right.
Because when you see someone who is basically you, you would actually ask the other person, hey, how do you do this?
Right.
How do you actually do this? I can't do this.
So cool. Can you imagine if you met a multiverse version of yourself?
Wow.
Like, imagine like you meet Smashpop for another universe, but he doesn't take photos, he doesn't make videos.
You do other things.
He paints.
Wow.
or he makes music.
I just love to work with him. I'm like, can we do things together?
Like video by Smashpop, music by Smashpop, everything by Smashpop.
Correct. You need pictures, I think, for you, but you paint for me.
That would be kind of cool, right? The multiverse. I love it. I just enjoy how everything has really just opened up now. Like Marvel can now really do anything and it fits the world that they built.
Yeah. Okay, speaking of that, right? The after credits.
Oh, yes.
There's two things I want to talk about, but okay, the first thing is Venom, but I don't think that is very important now. My priority is to talk about Doctor Strange.
And the multiverse of madness.
Okay, so when I saw the trailer, I realized that we need to watch WandaVision.
Correct.
And we need to watch What If on Disney Plus in order to fully understand what's going to happen in Doctor Strange.
Correct.
Right? Because they purposely do it so that you actually subscribe to Disney Plus and then watch all these things to follow the timeline.
Yep.
So what do you think of the show, of the trailer that you saw?
I thought it was really good. I think when I saw the dark Doctor Strange, I was like, isn't he from What If?
What If?
I felt like, I'm so glad I decided to watch What If.
Yeah, same.
And it paid off because the whole it's a very interesting move that they played because historically the What If universe of comic books is memang just one shots, meaning it will never have bearing into like the main universe.
It will never interfere.
It will never, because it's already called What If. So
Correct.
they don't play with each other. That's the whole premise. That's why the creators can go as crazy as they want to be with like the zombie Avengers or whatever. And that was just fun as an exercise to read alternate universe. But for MCU to have a What If universe come into play with what is the main movie universe, it says so much.
Yeah. So what if is real?
It is real because it's the
real,
multiverse.
Right? Exactly.
Right?
So anything can happen. Actually, right, multiverse is just an excuse for Marvel to just do crazy things.
And to make lots of money.
Yeah, because I don't mind.
We'll be watching Marvel stuff until we're 60 at this rate.
Okay, another topic now. Have you seen Hawkeye?
Yes, I have.
Oh, yes, finally.
I finished. Once I started, I couldn't stop.
That is right.
could not stop.
Okay, I give you my first impression first.
Okay.
Before I watched Hawkeye, I was never a fan of Hawkeye.
Okay.
I feel that Hawkeye is just another person without powers who pretend to be a hero by shooting arrows.
Okay.
And then his arrows supply is like unlimited. I don't know how.
Right.
You know? So I'm like, Hawkeye series? Don't want to watch lah. Stupid. You know? And then people who actually saw the series and then they say, hey, you need to watch Hawkeye.
Right.
Because it's very different and it's actually good.
Yep.
So I'm like, okay lor, I watched one episode lor. After I watched one episode, I'm like, wow, this is an interesting series. And I kind of know why it is interesting, although it is still Hawkeye, which is the person that I don't like. You know? Yeah. That's my first impression. What about yours?
I actually like the scenes that Hawkeye was in. So like we've had, like I know you are not a fan of Hawkeye, right? I was not a fan of Hawkeye too. But interestingly, when I watched this series, I felt like, oh, I really just want to see more of Hawkeye.
Why?
Because there is this like grizzled old man
Logan.
There's a little bit of that, right? Like he's not so optimistic. He knows how things are done. He's a little bit tired. All he wants to do is just go home with his family. And you get to see like, oh, this guy is actually the most human out of all of them because one, he's got no powers. And two, unlike Batman, he got no money. Unlike Tony Stark, he got no money also. So like he's really government servant working for the government.
Yeah.
And then everybody saved the world, and then he got a little bit of PTSD from his best friend dying, and now he's just like, oh man, why do I have to deal with this shit? I thought I retired. You're like, come on lah, guys, like chill lah, fong gong lah. Got like superpower, call Doctor Strange lah.
Yeah.
So,
but I think it's a good thing that they bring in the female partner.
Ooh,
what's her name? Kate Bishop. Yes. Yeah. And I do think that this Hawkeye series is a transition for them to pass the baton from this guy Hawkeye to this Kate Bishop.
Yeah.
And there is actually a scene that is in one of those episodes. He was actually walking with Kate Bishop, and we can actually view from behind them.
Okay.
And he actually then passed one arrow to her.
Oh. Oh.
You know, that was a very nice scene. I'm sure that scene will be used in a meme or whatever in the future when Kate Bishop officially becomes Hawkeye. And then they'll be like, remember back then on Disney Plus Hawkeye series, there was this scene, you know, it was like a symbolic scene whereby, you know, Hawkeye actually passed the arrow to Kate Bishop.
Right.
Yeah.
Yes. I think like Hawkeye is definitely one of those passing of the torch things. So there will be like a female Hawkeye and also a new Black Widow, right? Because Yelena.
Oh yes, Helena.
Yeah.
Helena? Yelena is going to replace Natasha.
Yeah.
And Kate Bishop is going to replace Clint.
Correct. And what's interesting is in the MCU movies, the Avengers movies, like Clint and Natasha were like best friend, buddy.
Yep.
So you could see that even the new Hawkeye, Kate and like Yelena were really becoming friends as well. Like
correct.
They genuinely liked each other.
But do you also realize that with this role passing, more and more females are replacing the male characters?
Ooh, I did not notice that. Let me think. Kate, Yelena is already female. Okay.
Yeah. I saw in some article, right, that Tony Stark is going to be a female. Like some side daughter of his or whatever.
Oh, really? Yeah.
Yeah, I saw in an article lah.
Is the name going to be Tony Stark with like Toni?
I don't know. It's going to be something Stark lah. You know,
All
it's
right.
just okay. Another example. This is not Marvel lah. This is Titans.
Okay.
Have you seen Titans?
No, I haven't.
Okay, so the latest Titans on Netflix, there is Commissioner Gordon.
Right.
I'm sure you know who is Commissioner Gordon. And when this character first appeared, this character did not show him or herself.
Right.
Okay, it was just people talking about, oh, you need to report this to Commissioner Gordon.
Right.
Like usual.
Right.
And then that character came out. It was a girl. Then I was like, Commissioner Gordon is a girl? How?
Okay.
And then the story then revealed, she is Barbara Gordon.
Ooh.
She is actually the daughter of Commissioner Gordon.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So do you know about this character, Barbara Gordon?
Yeah, she's Batgirl.
Okay.
Right, so there was an entire. I haven't seen Titans yet, but I remember there was one story in Batman called The Killing Joke, where the Joker basically broke Barbara Gordon's back.
Okay, and then he was on a wheelchair.
And then she was on a wheelchair, and then like he went and like took Commissioner Gordon and gave him some torture chamber in a funhouse thing to show the trauma, to traumatize Commissioner Gordon, to prove a point to Batman, saying that the difference is just one bad day. One bad day will turn a good guy into a bad guy, and let me prove it by doing this to Commissioner Gordon. Trying to turn Commissioner Gordon into a villain.
Okay.
Or to like give him enough anguish to tell Batman to kill Joker, which is something Batman
Actually,
doesn't do.
that is actually the story now in
really?
Titans. A little bit different,
Okay.
but roughly the same. Commissioner Barbara Gordon is actually on a wheelchair now.
Right.
And when they do a flashback between Commissioner Barbara Gordon and also Dick
Grayson.
Dick Grayson, who is now Nightwing.
Yep.
It used to be Robin.
Yep.
They were actually together back then. And when they were together, Robin, which is Dick Grayson back then, tried to get her to join them and become like Robin Girl. And then she's like, no, what if I become Batgirl? Like that. So I'm like, oh, okay. When you said Batgirl, I'm like, okay, makes sense.
Right?
Yeah.
I love it. Oh, the Titans series is actually very interesting. It's like dark and edgy.
It's a very dark adult show of the clean children cartoon.
Right? Like my memory of Teen Titans was the Cartoon Network one.
Yes, correct. That's the one I watched, lor.
Yeah.
And that's why I was so excited when the Titan show came out on Netflix. Then when I watched it, I'm like, this is not Teen Titans.
This is legit violent. This one sleeping with that one, fighting here.
Yeah, everyone just sleeping with everyone.
Yeah.
And everyone just kill everyone.
And I remember the first episode distinctly when Robin was like, fuck Batman. I'm
Yeah.
like, what? What? Did you just say that?
Yeah. That was also part of the teaser trailer that got everyone to watch Titans.
Yeah. So far, so good. Oh,
Yes.
not bad. So lots of superhero stuff. Like a lot of people are saying that now when it comes to cinema and TV shows, the only things that make money are the superhero movies. Like the
Agree?
MCU.
Oh, there's also another one.
What?
The Fast series.
Oh, yeah. Which is
Yeah.
also technically, think about it, kind of superhero. Like now the car can jump out of plane, jump into another plane, drive
Go into
across.
space, all, come back down, go into the water, all.
Yeah.
So I think these two type of movies, lor.
Speaking of the Fast series, did you hear about the drama between like The Rock and Vin Diesel?
No, what happened?
So you know how The Rock was part of the Fast series at one point,
Correct.
right? And what happened?
You mean he's not anymore?
He's not been in the main Fast line. He went off and did the Fast and Furious Hobbs and Shaw.
Oh yeah,
offshoot,
correct.
So when they were shooting the Fast movies, apparently Vin Diesel and The Rock had some ego clashes.
Okay.
Both of them both Tai Lam Yan action. I'm this, I'm the star, and the Vin Diesel is like, no, this is family, my family. And The Rock is like, if you smell, right?
Yeah.
And what happened was, things got so bad that people in the Fast family took sides and blasted each other online and stuff like that.
Okay.
And then The Rock was like, you know what? I don't need this. I'm the biggest movie star in the world. He screwed off. And then he went and said, you know what? I'm going to make my own. I'm going to take your franchise. And then he's like, Hobbs and Shaw came about.
Hobbs and Shaw, yes.
Yeah. And
Hobbs and Shaw was so good.
it was good.
Yeah.
But it was also not really Fast and Furious.
It's not.
It's just some random movie starring The Rock and Jason Statham, right?
Yeah.
And what happened after that was then they started slinging some stuff online. And it's very well documented one. And then recently though, Vin Diesel posted asking The Rock to come back.
Oh, why?
Like, come and make the Fast 10. Let's do it. Make the epic one.
Like the anniversary lah. 10-year anniversary
Maybe
lah.
even the final one, I think.
Okay.
And The Rock straight up said,
No. Wow.
And the reason for this is because The Rock said that prior to this posting, he and Vin Diesel have already agreed that they will part ways. He was very firm. He's not interested. Don't need to ask. Don't bother. Don't need to call.
Okay.
And when Vin Diesel did this, The Rock said, you see this fella? So manipulative. In his post, bring up Paul Walker lah, bring up his daughter lah. Why you do this? When you already know before this months ago, I thought you know. Why you want to bring it up online to guilt trip me?
Yep.
Then no. And so I think the feud's back on. I would love to see the two of them in a wrestling match.
I'm sure The Rock will win lah. You know.
Probably.
Yeah, you know why? Because Vin Diesel won't have his family around.
Family.
No family, no power.
Oh man. Yeah. The Rock also has that Black Adam coming out.
Oh yes, correct.
That could be interesting.
Is there any trailer out yet? I don't remember.
I think it was like a teaser.
The animated one, right?
Yeah, it's like showing a little couple of scenes.
I actually don't know the history of like Black Adam and stuff. But
Black
I'm
Adam
sure
is Shazam's arch nemesis.
Oh, so you mean Black Adam is a villain?
Black Adam is a villain. Black
And
Adam
it's
is
a movie
bad guy.
about the villain?
Correct.
Oh.
But what I think they're trying to do is they're trying to turn Black Adam into a sympathetic villain.
So it's going to be like Venom lah. Like villain, but we like Venom. Kind, is it?
Yes. I imagine, like, the way I imagine it, you know Killmonger from Black Panther, right?
Yes.
So the villain in Black. So
Yeah.
Killmonger was a very likable villain because the reason why he was evil or was a villain was actually very practical. He wanted to fight for his rights, wanted to take back all the artifacts, wanted to
Correct.
stop the oppression.
Correct.
And essentially Black Adam will be that kind of character. Like the only reason why he turned, like he used his power to crush people is because he was like enslaved and his people were enslaved. And I think if all goes as planned, the DC universe will try and turn Black Adam into their Iron Man. Like, you know how Iron Man launchpad a whole bunch of stuff? I think The Rock as Black Adam is the only one.
He's going to be the leader of the Justice League.
for now, until they can like maybe bring back Superman again to.
Oh, yeah.
Like when The Rock's contract runs out, they bring Superman lah.
Maybe Superman will come back again because Titans now got Superboy.
Oh, but you know Henry Cavill is
Henry Cavill lah. You know, no one can replace. But to be honest, right, the Superboy in Titans actually looks a little bit like Henry Cavill.
purposely one ah.
And is there even a version of this Superboy, right, that you know in the DC history that is a hybrid between, he's actually a combination of Superman and Lex Luthor?
Yes, I think there was something like that. I don't remember it because I'm not very well versed in this stuff, but yeah, I think there is some kind of aspect, some origin there.
So this character exists now on Titans, and he's actually quite amazing because he has all the Superman powers, and he's able to build things using machines and stuff.
Oh wow!
You know, then I'm like, wow, this is really like Superman and Lex Luthor working hand in hand. Like,
But also a bit of a cheat lah. Like you already got super strength, super speed.
Oops, Siri stopped.
Like super cheat because already you can fly and fight, and now you got brains to build.
Now you
stuff.
got brains
like
and the looks.
you win lah.
You win all lah.
Game over lah. Yeah, interesting. Oh, speaking of Superboy, interestingly enough, I think there was a version of Superboy in the current run of I think Titans or whatever, where he came out as bisexual.
Huh?
Yeah,
From the Titan series?
like the comics. There's a comic version of Smashpop where he came out as bisexual, which is very, I think, polarizing for a lot of fans. But I thought it was a very interesting move.
Interesting. It's a smart move lah to be inclusive ma.
Yeah, correct. And I think with the older generation of heroes, it's a bit harder because I think so many established stories already.
Correct.
Right?
They have to make new characters.
Yeah.
Like Shang-Chi. Like before this, we got Shang-Chi one. God ah?
God.
Huh? God ah?
God.
Oh my God, I didn't know.
Shang-Chi's not a new character. He's an unknown character.
Oh, like those like Kelefe lah.
It's like Guardians of the Galaxy before they made the Guardians of the Galaxy movie. They existed, but nobody knew who they were.
But now everyone knows.
Correct.
So you watch Shang-Chi though?
I did.
Okay, but
Tony Leung, best actor. Tony Leung, guys, I want you all to know, Tony Leung is in my hands the only reason why Shang-Chi, the movie was good. His eyes, he's acting with the eyes.
To me, it was Awkwafina, you know.
Really? Yeah. Awkwafina was not important to the movie. If you remove Awkwafina, the movie will still go on.
Yeah, but there's no more funny. You need the funny.
But the movie, yeah, fair enough lah.
Yeah.
But so Awkwafina is like Mushu from Mulan like that, the dragon, just there to make jokes.
Correct.
And not do anything, just like
correct.
ha.
That's the whole point. If there's no Mushu, Mulan is not nice. It's just going to be Mulan.
Okay lah, that's a good point lah. Fair enough lah.
Okay. So I guess that can wrap up our episode today lah. Huh?
Sounds good. First app done, man.
Yes. Thank you very much, everyone, for listening. If you like all the topics that we just talked about and more, like gadgets, content creation, gossips, celebrity discussion, got celebrity discussion. What?
Should have lah. I think like whatever we are kind of into and we talk about in general, we'll just be like talking about it with you as well.
Or food reviews, where it's nice to eat like this, the best cheesecake, where's the best pub to drink, those kind of things. Subscribe, okay, to Yeah with me, Smashpop.
That's me, Jeremy. For all that, I was like, you forgot your name.
Yeah, I'm like me, Smashpop and Jeremy. Subscribe to Yeah on Spotify, I think. Apple Podcasts.
Wherever you can get your podcast.
If you're listening to us now, just click subscribe lah, wherever it is lah. Okay, and follow us on our Instagram, Smashpop.
Jer says.
That's it. See you guys in the next episode. Bye.